Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I make travel advice videos, travel budget videos, travel vlogs, and all that sort of thing. So don't forget to subscribe and click the bell button if you want to stay tuned for more videos that I upload. So today I'm going to be doing a big guide on hostels. So I'm going to be breaking this video up into 3 different sections. First I'm going to be talking about commonly asked questions, so anything people normally ask me or think people worry about or myths that people have about hostels. Then I'm going to go over why you should definitely book hostels and stay in hostels. And then the third thing will be how to book a hostel and how to find the cheapest deal. So firstly, commonly asked questions. A lot of people ask, are they clean? Are they dirty? As a general whole, hostels are fine as long as you book one that says that it has a good rating in cleanliness. So I'll obviously go through that in a bit about how to book them and making sure the ratings are high. So pretty much just finding one that's got a high rating and cleanliness. That's all you need to do. Obviously there is dirty hostels out there, but as a whole nowadays hostels are very popular and they probably wouldn't want their hostel to be very dirty. And the next commonly asked question is, are they safe? Like I said before, as a whole, yes, if the rating's really good, then I'm sure they'll be really safe. Pretty much all the time you should get a locker, so make sure you bring a padlock with you and you can put all your valuables in there and then lock them up and then go out for the day. And if you don't get a locker, I just put my stuff in my suitcase and I lock my suitcase. Because I think that's what people worry about. They're sharing a room with someone, they're worried someone in their room's gonna steal their stuff, but as long as you lock it away, then, you know, you're just gonna have to risk it. And I'm sure they won't break into the locker. So next question is, how many people will I be sharing with and will it be male or female? So you can either choose a female only dorm or a mixed dorm. I have only really ever gone for a female dorm while I've been solo traveling, but I haven't done solo travel very much. Obviously I've only been on one solo travel trip and I just chose female dorms because by myself I just felt a bit more comfortable being in a female dorm, but when I've been with friends I've just chose mixed dorms. I think in the future as I get a bit more confidence traveling on my own I probably will pick mixed dorms. Yeah, it just really depends what you're comfortable with. And then when it comes to how many people will you be sharing with, it just really depends on the hostel. A lot of hostels have a lot of different configurations and then some only have like one configuration, so you can either get 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 and then the most will be 14, and then you get some that have 20 people. I usually always go for the smaller amount, so like 4 or 8. But that's only ever because I've had the option to pick that. I think if I was going somewhere and the only options were more people, then I just pick that, obviously to keep it on a budget. But I always feel like the less people, then the less mess, the less smell. That's a really bad thing to say. But once I was in London and I was just staying over one night until my auntie came the next day, and I was like, I just booked a 14-bed dorm because it was just somewhere to sleep, but it did get very smelly. It was a very dingy old hostel in London, so, but you know, I survived and it was no big deal. So the next question is dorm room or private. So dorm room is really, really good because then you get to meet the people in your dorm and it's a lot easier that way because you're sharing a small space with someone, you probably will talk to them. Like most of the time when I was in Taiwan and someone came into the room or I came into the room, you introduce yourself straight away and you chat to each other. Simple as that. Whereas if you're in a private room, obviously the only way to go out and meet people would be to go in the common room, which is fine, but it's just a little bit harder that way. I feel like sometimes you do have to be bit more like you have to come up to people and approach people. It's a bit more social to be in a dorm room, but if you do want space to yourself but you still want the whole hostel vibe, then a private room is really good, but obviously it will cost a bit more. Hi everyone, just quickly popping in here because I realised I completely forgot to mention the whole bathroom situation in hostels. So you can either get a room that has an ensuite bathroom, or you can use the shared bathrooms and you won't have a bathroom in your room. So I am sort of torn between the two because they both have their pros and cons. So with the ensuite bathroom, it's good because it's right there if you need to go to the toilet during the middle of the night, or if you just need to go to the toilet in general all the time like me, for a wee, that is. You can just quickly pop in there and it's really easy. You don't have to go look for the bathroom or leave your room. And then also if you do want to get up and shower straight away, it's just right there, like it's quite convenient. And then you're only sharing it with maybe 3 other people or a few people in your room. But then the good thing about the shared bathrooms is if you do have to get up super early, like maybe in the middle of the night, you can go off to the shared bathroom and have a shower and like get ready without disturbing the people in your room. I guess people know that, you know, people are going to be getting up maybe during the middle of the night to go a flight or something like that, and they'll use the bathroom in their room. But I mean, it's just good in that way. If you want to blow dry your hair and everything, like it makes a lot of noise, so I feel like that's the good thing about shared bathrooms. And then also the great thing about shared bathrooms / toilets is that if you need to go do a poo, you can just go off in a shared bathroom and there might not be anyone in there, or there'll be people in there but they don't know who you are. So it's a kind of a bit more private, whereas if you're sharing and you're in an ensuite and there's people in the room and you go to the toilet, it's a bit more like they're all right there and they know that you're in the toilet, you know what I mean? You know, some people might not care about that, and I mean, if you gotta go, you gotta go, but that's also the good thing about the shared bathrooms. You sometimes get a bit more privacy in a way, but then the ensuite is kind of convenient. So I guess it's sort of up to you if you know, what matters to you, I guess. I used to always just go for ensuite because I thought that was just a lot easier, but then I've realised over time that shared bathrooms like actually pretty good anyway. So the next part of this video is sort of me just going over why you should book them, the benefits about being in a hostel and why they're great. So the first thing is they're really great for solo travellers. Like I mentioned before, you meet people in your dorm room, you meet people in the common room. It's a very social environment for the most part if you get somewhere that has really good atmosphere. They're cheaper, obviously. The more people that you have in your dorm room, that usually means the cheaper it'll be. And it really adds to the experience of being in a new country. I've mentioned before, like when I went to Taiwan, half the experience was seeing the country, and also the other half was meeting all these different people from all over the world who are traveling by themselves and experiencing the country on their own as well. And you just make so many friends with different people all around the world, and it really adds to the experience. Besides being on your own or maybe just being with one other person that you know really well, you don't really open yourself up to different opportunities and meeting different people. So that's why they're really great as well. They're also really good when it comes to advice and helping you. The reception and the people that work there are really, really good in helping you. You don't even have to research stuff beforehand. If you want to know how to get somewhere or the best place to eat something or whatever, just go up and ask them, because they work there and they're probably locals and they probably know where all the good spots are, and they'll be there to help you. So that's also what's really good. You get a real personal experience from most hostels. So the last thing is how to book the hostels. So the most important things to me are the location, the price, the rating, and if they have atmosphere. So when I'm booking a hostel, I go onto hostelworld.com and I put in my details of where I want to go, what dates, and then I put two filters on. I put the price and the rating. So usually I always do above 7.5, and then for the price, I'll usually just drop it down to a random number, like maybe under £20 or something. But this really depends on what the average cost is for the hostels in that area. If you scroll down, you'll be able to see that most of them might be £10. So you can drop your budget all the way down to £10. If you wanted to go really, really cheap, it just really depends. You have to sort of gauge it on what you see, how much most of them are. And then what I do is click on the map icon so that I can see where they are located in that area. So then I zoom into the location of where I want to be, the most central location I want to be. And then what I do is just click on all the different hostels that I can see in all the good locations and open them up in new tabs, and I just pretty much just go through them all, look at the pictures, see if any of them look really nice, see if them look a bit dingy, and just like do a process of like elimination sort of thing. But the most important thing, especially when you're traveling alone, is the atmosphere. So what I do check is the ratings for the atmosphere and all the reviews that people say about the hostel. Obviously you're checking for other things that people say about the hostel, but looking for reviews where people are saying the hostel had really good atmosphere or it had really shit atmosphere. If I'm alone, I don't want to go somewhere that has crappy atmosphere. So those ones will always be eliminated first, because there's nothing worse than being somewhere on your own for a few days and no one talks to you. So then you sort of have to weigh up the pros and cons of certain places. Like say if you found a really good hostel but it was outside of the location that you wanted to stay in, I would then just check the transport and see how easy it was. You know, I'd go on Google Maps, see how far it would be to walk to most places I wanted to see. I would see how much the transport cost and how long it would take. But then if I did find somewhere that was in a good location but it was a bit more money, then I would sort of weigh up, you know, is it worth paying a little bit more money so that I don't have to come into town or something like that. So I think it's just a bit of looking around and seeing what's going to suit you the most. I also will mention that some of the really, really nice looking hostels that are really modern and really nice looking, maybe the real boring ones. I find that some that look a bit dingy looking and like are party hostels, you might just have a better time at, even if they do look a bit sort of dingy and maybe not the cleanest looking. You might surprise yourself. Sometimes the chain hostels can be a bit, I think, a bit soulless and a bit boring. Not always, but just keep that in mind. Don't always go for the ones that look really, really nice, because you might actually have a better time at one that looks a bit old or something like that. You know what I mean? I think that's what I learned when I went to Taiwan. I picked somewhere, and I don't know why I picked it, because when I got there, I was like, why did I pick this place? It's not even a good location. It was real funky and had a really cool look to it, but it was just so dull. I didn't meet anyone there. There was no one around. Didn't meet anyone in my room. And there was people in my room, but they were just like obviously passing through. And I met a guy who was in Taiwan and he went to the same city that I was in. He ended up moving to this hostel and he said it was really, really good, and I was really annoyed because I was like, damn it, if I just picked maybe a hostel with a lower rating, then I might have had a better time. Maybe if the beds were like a little bit uncomfortable, but I might have had a really good time. So you never know what you're gonna get. You just have to think about what's important to you. I hope this video has helped you. I hope it's convinced you to stay in hostels if you're a bit unsure about staying in them. Honestly, they're really cheap and you have such a good time in them if you meet tons of different people. Anyway, don't forget to subscribe and check out all my other travel videos, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye!